Ah, yes, the Chicken Choker 3000.
Beautiful. All right, and as that is a beautiful intro into this talk show, welcome to Anime Talk Show Tuesday, episode 11, and we have a special guest show this week, as we do bi-weekly here. We have a guest show every other week, and then in the middle weeks, we have a bi-weekly anime seasonal show roundup. Either way, I am your host, HyperBuzz_1, with my co-host here.
Co-host Hot Kick.
And then we also have our guest here, who is... You want to introduce yourself?
I am the Serpent Tail, aka Napkin, or Naki as some people will know me.
Yes. So thank you and welcome to the show. I've known him for a little bit, I think almost a year now. Well, it'll be a little bit closer to a year next year, but I've met him in person due to the nice Core Texas meetup. Cough, the best meetup from Core. No. Can't wait for that next year. But either way, we'll get started off. I mean, I know a decent bit about you, but I guess tell us a bit about yourself. What do you do? What do you like to do? You know, your daily life, etc.
It's time to plug.
It's time to plug as much as I can plug. I am a streamer on Twitch, if anybody else is viewing on that platform, and I am a self-proclaimed anime enthusiast / connoisseur of delicious waifus.
They're my waifus. You can't have them.
These are trash too, you know it.
I don't know. I have Fate waifus. All the Fate waifus are never trash.
I have an actual trash waifu who's probably viewing the stream.
Who's probably
viewing the stream.
Oh, that's cute.
Nah, she's a wonderful person.
That's great. Yeah, my ex, she was, I guess, like, the most real waifu, like, real life waifu, I guess. She loves me to death.
Oh, it was a common joke from, I was playing Fallout 4 Create Your Own Adventure stuff, and I got stuck with a trash can for several hours trying to do a glitch.
What?
Yeah, I got stuck with the trash can trying to jump into a wall to get to an item that gives me infinite. Well, it doesn't allow me to take fall damage, and you have to glitch up there to get it, or have a rocket pack.
That's interesting. I never knew about that. I didn't even know about like the Fallout Create Your Own Adventures. Speaking of Fallout, unless most of you probably do know or don't know, Fallout 4 VR just came out this week. I think yesterday or the day before.
It was probably yesterday. I don't remember.
Bethesda's world-renowned re-release all of the games on different platforms.
Yeah,
but this is VR though. I don't know. Kenneth bought it. Kenneth pre-ordered it early. I'll probably get a chance to play it. Kenneth. Oh yeah, that's right. You know Kenneth too. Yeah, I forget. I took Kenneth with me to that meetup, even though he wasn't really a part of Ford. It was all fun. We all had good times. But anyway. So yes, as Napki says, he streams. That's mainly where I guess originally met him from. What about it? Do you do anything else? I mean, I know you cook, so you should talk about cooking.
I cook. I make my own beef jerky from time to time. I drink alcohol excessively.
I don't think you're that bad. You're not Donzo. Okay.
I'm no Donzo, but I do tend to drink alcohol quite a bit when I'm by myself. I'm not a social drinker.
Huh, I didn't know that. That must be fairly newer, question mark?
No, that's been a while. It's been going for at least 10 years now.
No, I didn't know that. See, I don't even drink that much. I just drink on the Thursday show where, like, all this alcohol that I have in my refrigerator, I drink it while we're doing the news. And slowly become more plastered as the news show goes on.
Well,
I have a giant bottle of sake.
Well, you have to in order to deal with the news that we're getting.
Something like that. Yeah, that's fairly relevant. Huh. Alrighty then. I guess we'll start the questions off.
Alright.
So, question number 1 that we have for you. What kind of anime do you like to watch? And do you have a preferred genre?
I don't really have a preferred genre myself. I will watch anything from sports to slice of life to moe blob bullshit. As some people call it.
Okay.
But my favorite anime, I don't, as it's with my genre, I don't have a specific favorite. it would have to probably be something I started off watching back when I was a kid. It happens to be the Tenchi Muyo series.
Ooh, that's a good series. I haven't heard anybody brought it up. Shadow brought up Outlaw Star as his favorite, and I was like, that's solid. I had just bought the HD remaster of that. It's in my room over there.
Oh, it's Outlaw Star is a solid one to go because most people were introduced to that through the Toonami series.
Yeah, that's where I was introduced, I think, to Tenchi and all that stuff too.
I was actually introduced to Tenchi through my self-proclaimed cousin Jason, who brought a VHS home from Blockbuster.
Nice.
I think the only thing that was really introduced to me like pretty hardcore was like Cowboy Bebop and FMA.
Yeah, that's what I first started watching was Cowboy Bebop back on Adult Swim when I was like 7.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to watch stuff from Blockbuster, like you said, VHSs. Oh my.
Boy.
Yeah, we used to rent those all the time.
Well, it came down to the fact is that he popped it in the VHS and he said, I'm just gonna go grab a drink at the kitchen and I'm gonna go smoke because he wasn't allowed to smoke in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, this is pretty interesting. This is not like the little Looney Tunes cartoons I was watching earlier.
What is this?
Holy crap! There's boobs. I like this. And it's
how old were you at the time?
I was probably about 4 or 5 at the time.
You're like, these cartoons are great.
These cartoons are great. There's boobs.
Wait, what anime was that?
Tenchi Muyo. It was
Tenchi Muyo. Yep.
It was, it was a typical, fast-paced scene where the boobs were not very shown, but it was like, holy crap, there's nudity.
Dude, Ryoko had like massive tits. Like that was her thing. She was trying to seduce Tenchi. In the beginning.
That's the scene that got me was her jumping into the hot springs.
Dude, same.
And drowning him. So that was the
yeah. Within the first episode, she was trying to lure him in and seduce him, and like that was it. Like that was the thing. I had like, she was one of my childhood loves, along with Aisha Clan from fucking Outlaw Star. She has massive tits. She was a cat girl too. That's also probably why I like cat girls.
And then my tastes in anime kind of evolved throughout the whole thing. I got a little older, 9. It was, I think, when I was 8 or 9, Toonami really started being a thing, showing anime, which was Dragon Ball Z. And I thought that was the baddest thing ever. Every week I was super excited. I was singing Dragon, Rock the Dragon, coming home from school to watch it.
Nice.
Wondering if Goku's...
Am I the only one that like went back to like Dragon Ball and fucking Naruto, tried to rewatch it and just like didn't enjoy it nearly as much?
I don't know. Thank you for the bits there, Crucifix. One Punch Man introduced me to anime. Hikek's actually running a anime showing of One Punch Man on Saturday. He has some weird. Yeah, has some weird time. 2 p.m. EST. Who uses that time?
That's in the middle of work there, bud.
It's just a little bit after lunch.
Well, it's Saturday. Nobody works on Saturdays if they have like decent jobs, office work or whatever. Decent. I don't know. I said decent jobs. Everything else where you have to work weekends kind of sucks usually. There's a cat that just jumped up behind me. Oh yeah, you don't know, but I got a cat recently.
No. Kitties are always
white people jobs.
White people jobs.
Lord have mercy. He went there. Jeez. Oh, because Crucifix said white people. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Okay. I see that. Yeah, I don't know why there's no alerts on the scene. I need to fix that real quick.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I'm keeping track of chat.
Mm-hmm. I'm keeping track of chat as well.
All right. Well, there you go. Everybody's here. It's a party in chat with Crucifix talking. Anyway, so on that note, what is your favorite anime and what is your favorite episode / scene from it?
There would have to be something more recent. Is actually, I'm a big foodie. I like to cook, and it has to be Shokugeki no Soma.
Yep.
The very first couple of episodes where he pulls out the surprise potato meatloaf. I don't remember what he called it.
Dude, I want to try that.
It's just one of those things where it's like, I can make this. And just looking at it made me want to eat it. That show is horribly dangerous to watch when you're hungry.
Dude, I've seen like online people have actually like put together the recipes that they show in the anime. I also really want to try the stuff that they make.
It's one of those few animes that you can watch where you can be like, hey, I can actually try and make this.
Yeah, because they show you how to make it.
They show you mostly how to make it. Holy crap!
Not the
Yeah,
exact,
I did a bad.
But it's definitely there.
Mhm.
Shh, the layout's fine. Shut up, Crucifix. I was just trying to get it. I thought I had the browser source that I was playing with, but then in fact I had the background. Oh God! What have I done?
The background.
Yep, all of the bad times. Alert me. There we go. And that all should be corrected. I'm doing now, maybe in theory.
That is one of my more recent favorite animes that I'm just going to be able to easily list a scene at the top of my head.
No, that's good.
I've consumed so much anime within my career of watching anime. It just all kind of gets to a point where everything starts to meld into one.
And there we go. That would be the 1-bit cheer with the sound and everything. Thank you, Crucifix, for testing that out.
All them biddies.
All them biddies.
They're overlapping at each other though.
I see that. There's supposed to be 2 separate alert boxes entirely. Oh well, I'll just turn them off.
Star Wars, but every lightsaber clash.
There you go.
Michael Jackson.
Dude, I saw it. Hey! Everybody. There we go. Food anime with getting through. Yes, the food anime is worth getting through. I can't say that because I haven't seen it, but my sister loves it, and this guy likes it, and a lot of people like it.
Speaking of food anime, did you watch the one with the dad and his daughter?
Oh yeah, Sweetness and Lightning. That is another one of my favorites.
Ah, dude, that one was so good.
It
was so cute.
It really kicks you in the nuts with the feels.
It does.
No man.
It'll kick you in the ovaries with feels if you're a lady.
There you go. The lady nuts.
Yes.
Alright, so on to question number 3. What kind of effect does anime have on you and your life?
Ooh. Truthfully, I view anime as an easy way to relax.
Nice.
It's one of the more relaxing things. It's an escape. You know, I'm having a hard day. I just want to sit down and watch Naruto punch some guy in the face for no reason. It's sure there's a reason within the show, but there's no reason for me to want to watch it. I just feel like I want to watch it. I'm going to watch it. And it's easy for me to get lost and just lose days upon days of binge watching things.
Dude, I've lost so many days binge watching fucking One Piece.
I've refused to start One Piece because I am not sticking through 1,000.
Same.
If you haven't started it yet,
no,
it's not great to get into. It's very demanding of your time.
Very demanding of your time, and it's a very slow build-up.
Yeah. Well, as Crucifix saying, Black Clover apparently made him cry first episode, and then he says that's the weebiest questions he's ever heard. Hey man, like, these are all, we are weebs here, we're talking to other weebs, that's the point.
What's the weepiest question?
Got attached to Fairy Tail and I kissed my life goodbye. Yeah, Fairy Tail's a good one to get attached to.
I didn't really like Fairy Tail.
Fairy Tail is good to a point. It really started going downhill during the mid to later episodes of it.
It's like I started watching and I was like, this feels like it's really lacking something. Then I watched like YouTube videos like giving the like critiques about it. And I was like, oh, that's what it's missing. Character progression.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't really feel like the characters are progressing. It's like, oh yeah, sure, he gains a new power, but it's out of nowhere. It's unwarranted. When you can look at things like this day, or the more current stuff like My Hero Academia, you are seeing that he starts out from nothing. He's building up, and it's not an instant power grab and instant, oh, I'm suddenly ultimate badass with my power. Yeah. No.
He has no idea how to control it.
He has no idea how to control it. But now he's learned to control barely 2% of it, 5% of it. Everything's slowly building up to this point where he's fully able to grasp this power.
Yeah. Which is great. It's good development. I would say, is anybody familiar with World Trigger?
I watched some of it. I didn't really get interested into it.
It was pretty slow, but like that's where something like similar where the main character is. But that's one of the weirdest anime ever. Like the main character's practically useless. He is weak. So painfully weak. Great, that's the only characters in development the first season. Yeah.
Oh, geez,
well,
that's a
kind of
fucking
important.
long anime.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
73 episodes long.
Who? Oh, Wall Trigger?
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it's pretty
go
good.
to. I'm going to my Crunchyroll page right now.
How did you look? Alright, so speaking of Crunchyroll, this brings up question number 4. How do you normally like to watch anime? And by that, with the question, I mean, like, do you like to just cuddle up in your bed, just hang out by yourself, you watch food, watch while you're eating food, you like to watch Crunchyroll, Netflix, blah, 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 all sorts of things.
I'd like to, for one reason, I'd like to support, my anime habits and help give funding to the directors and processing all the artists and musicians that go into it. So I do watch via Crunchyroll, but I would have to say I have partake in the little bit of the piracy of it due to the fact that Crunchyroll doesn't have all the licenses for everything.
That's funny because like I used to pay for Crunchyroll back when I had a job and everything, but like even when I was paying for Crunchyroll, I wasn't using it. It was just like send money off to Japan, help out with the production, but I'm going to watch on the site that is actually a lot better.
Yeah, and I'm the same way. I used to pay for Crunchyroll back in, like, when I got my first job, like, straight out of high school. Ever since then, I've stopped paying for it and never looked back, even whenever I had really high-paying jobs. Because I just couldn't stomach for paying for a service that I could get everything for free, and, like, I had, like, much better options, basically. Like, all of the, like, for instance, the newest website that Highkick's showing me onto. There's multiple different sources, and like if one source is lagging, then I can switch to another one and it works fine. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like it's just better.
Like the biggest thing is about the website that we use is that it keeps track of all your anime that you watch too.
Yeah,
which is a big deal as well.
See, my thing is, I would love it if they, partnered with places like My Anime List and allowed you to, mark off series that track what you watched. They give you a history in Crunchyroll, but they give you little achievements for completing series and stuff like that. But it would be better if they link it with My Anime List, allow you to actually, mark off what you did, or quickly write a review about it.
Definitely.
Yeah, which is that's basically how I think my Master Anime works mostly like that way. Doesn't it have a link to your anime list, or did they stop doing that?
It used to do that, but I mean, it wasn't like a one-to-one connection. It was basically just like a kind of like a third-party thing.
Nice. Over here, Crucifix over here showering me with bits. I don't know. I was about to say that. I was like, dog, this guy's just like throwing him, man, throwing him. Especially if you make a competition, I will drop my entire life savings into anything. As he quoted me, "Why pay when you can steal?" Harpy 2017. Okay. That's right. Vote for me for president 2020. Anyway.
You have to be 35 to be president.
Yeah, I know.
I'm voting for fucking Ben Shapiro if he ever runs.
What have mercy.
Yes.
Anyway.
With all the SJWs.
Bullshit. On to question number 5. Do you prefer to watch anime while it's airing, or wait and binge it all at the end?
It's a mixture of both. It's...
no los dos.
Yes, why not both? There is times where I can't watch the anime as it's airing. There's that whole, oh no, I've missed this stuff. I guess I'll just wait until next week and catch up on everything then. And then catch up on the big plot twist that I've been waiting for.
See, currently, I don't get to be lazy like that because, well, we run a review show, or weekly, bi-weekly summary show, and I have to watch things, and, like, I have a lot of anime on my list. Like, I watch pretty much most of the ones that are out right now.
Dude, everything that's airing this season, well, majority of the stuff that's airing this season is actually pretty fucking good, though.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm loving, like, everything. Like, even, like I said, like I was telling Napkin, before the show started, like, I'm loving the lovey, or was I saying that? I said that somewhere, someone out loud. Anyway, where I said I'm loving all of the, romantic things like, Ancient Magus Bride and the fucking, recommendation of the MMO Life, all those things that I those aren't my things. I don't like slice of life, I don't like romances, but they're just so good. Like, honestly, I've cried multiple times, through episodes of, Ancient Magus Bride, just because it's like, it's just done so well and it's so moving that I really like it.
Dude, those two and Just Because are like my favorites for this season, pretty much.
Nice. Oh yeah, and Just Because I actually recommended all those to Katie this morning. Oh yeah, and see, Crucifix says I was talking to him. I suggest MMO Junkie Ancient Magic Bride. Yes, I mean they're really good. The MMO Junkie one's great. I was gonna be mad if they didn't end up getting together. Like that would have been angering like to no end. It's like why?
Isn't the last episode out now?
Yes. They're also supposed to have another episode. They're gonna have an OVA, I think, next week or something like that, or this week. I guess it's this week. Yeah. What were you saying, Nathan?
Oh, I wasn't saying anything. I was just listening.
Oh, okay.
But I did get a chance to watch a little bit of MMO Junkie, and I found it quite hilarious because I found myself resonating with the characters so well, even though I'm a guy. It's like, but
I mean, it's very relatable.
It's relatable to any like nerd that plays online games that like wants the waifus or the husbandos or whatever.
Really relatable to me because I just realized that I just put 117 hours into Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
I know she's been playing that a lot. It's okay. I put all of my time into other stuff because I'm jobless. Woo!
Woo! Neat life.
Pretty much. If only there was like a decent social net to keep me like from dying. But actually, after the next 2 weeks here, I lose my unemployment. Woo!
Oh no. That sucks.
Oh, I also lose the house I'm living in pretty soon here, and I won't be able to stream anymore.
Because of MMO Junkie, I was looking at fucking like social programs in Japan and like everywhere else in the world. So apparently, Japan pays the most to like the people that are unemployed and shit, which is I think it was like 2% of the population.
That's I was gonna say like there might be these anime about NEETs and stuff, and like that might be a running joke in Japan, but there really aren't that many. Like, no. The Japanese work culture is ridiculously terrible for the workers to the point where, like, a lot of people are actually literally dying from overwork.
But yeah, their social programs for that 2% are a lot better than ours.
Well, okay, our social programs don't really exist. I mean, they exist, but they're also kind of a joke.
Yeah, I'm on part of the social programs
for it. He is, yes, I forgot about that. You're on one, and, like, you, as far as, like, I think, you barely make enough to survive, right?
Yeah, I get $750 a month USD, and that has to go to my bills, my rent, and I get $114 in food stamps.
Yeah, and like that's not even survivable anywhere. Like I couldn't live in Austin that much. I can't even live right where I live right now in the South Texas in like rural town. I can't even live off that.
I'm only lucky because I got gifted the property I am on from my grandmother when she passed. That's the only reason why I'm lucky where I am. So my 750 can pay for all that. But I don't get the luxury of, this new game released today, I'm going to go out and buy it. No, I have to plan months in advance for everything. Yeah.
But I mean, at least you have a place and all that. That's good. Also, doesn't your family members live with you too?
My mother lives with me. My niece and nephew and their grandmother moved out. We kicked them out.
We kicked them out?
Yes.
Oh no.
Well, there was a whole complication behind that, but
family things. I understand.
Yeah, family things.
That's fine.
Back to anime.
Yes, back to anime. So, with that in mind, number 6 question on my list here is, are you watching anything that is currently airing?
I'm not currently airing. I'm more focusing on, aside from Food Wars, that's, I don't consider that as a currently airing, even if it is currently airing, because I started that way back when.
Well, it's just the most recent season. Like, are you watching the most recent season or no?
I am watching the most recent season.
Okay. Technically,
yes. Yeah, technically, yes. Blood Blockade Battlefront, My Hero Academia.
Oh, so you're watching Blood Blockade Battlefront. Kai Hekek's trying to get into that, the first one.
It's
different.
It's different. It takes a little bit to get into.
I mean, I liked it, but me and him realized it was a second season, and he wanted to go back and watch the first season to it.
The anime is insane.
Yeah.
I love it so far. I've watched the first 4 or 5 episodes, I think.
It's insane what you get to see. It's so much fun.
Is it Insane in the Membrane?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's still airing, but Yami Shibai Japanese ghost stories?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen it. That's not something I watched, so I don't recognize the name. Kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't think it's airing anymore, but it was recently airing. It's a nifty little kind of horror thing. They tell short 10-minute stories, or 5 to 10. Thank you, person driving down the road like a maniac. They tell 5 to 10-minute short stories with a kind of low budget art style, and it's really creepy, and I love it.
Nice. That's cool. Alrighty then. Let's see. And then question number 7. How many episodes do you like to see an anime to have? If you especially enjoy it.
If I especially enjoy the anime, I prefer to keep it a short season by season basis of anywhere from 15 to 24 episodes. I'd like to see at least that, depending on the anime itself. If I feel like it's done at 12 episodes, like everything seems to be perfectly wrapped up in a nice resolved bow at 12, I want it to stop there. I don't want it to continue because I know the next season is going to upset me.
Hasn't there been a few animes that stopped at 12 and then there's like, you know what, let's bring out another season that was even better than the first one?
There's been a few like that, but most of the time if it is not something based off of already in content like light novels or manga, it's bound to kind of suck because they can't keep up.
It's like one thing I've noticed. Like, do you watch High School DxD?
No, I don't.
It's like every season that airs, like it's progressively getting better.
High School DxD is one of those. Well, at first it was just like pure ecchi, like hentai, just whatever. And then it was like, during the second season, they're like, wait a minute, we can actually have a story. Oh my god, we have a real story. We have actual plot, and not just quote unquote plot, but real plot. And then it was like, it was actually like I wanted to watch it not just for the hilarity and the ecchi, but like because there was plot. And I wanted to see, how things would actually end up. It's pretty good. It's still horribly ecchi and it's hilarious, but yeah.
Yeah, it's bound to be. If it has the ecchi tag, you gotta expect it.
Oh yeah. Well, even if it doesn't, just always expect ecchi in all anime. Come on now.
Yeah.
It's just a thing. Accept it. Okay. And what animes do you feel should have had more seasons, and what anime do you feel should have had less?
Well, I personally feel that iShield 21 should have had less seasons, as it were. It could have wrapped up a long, long time ago. It could have done so much by stopping at a certain point, but it just didn't. It just kept going.
I couldn't continue watching it because of that.
And thankfully, I know we're getting confirmation of more seasons of it, but I really wanted more of Overlord.
Oh, yes! Ein Summer! Yes, I love Overlord. Overlord and his overwaifus. Beautiful.
But that one thing really resonated with me as well as MMO junkie, because, I'm just, he was sitting there as the MMO was closing down, and I have put that much dedication into some MMOs where I've noticed that the guild I'm in, nobody plays it anymore. Some people randomly log in.
Hold on. Before you continue, our guild on BDO. I just got bored of it. What? BDO's not an MMO? You kidding me? That's what it is.
Compared to like other MMOs, there's like no camaraderie or anything like that. It's basically a single player game.
Yeah, I know, but it's still an MMO. When we still have guilds and guild halls, it's just like,
It's a single player game you can somewhat play with other people.
Then that you're forced to PvP and kill other people.
Well, no, like, the PvP's not even very forced or anything. I don't know. As an MMO, like he's saying, it's not very, like, there's no reason to group up with people.
Yeah.
You can slaughter tons of enemies by yourself. Like, that's it. The only time you have to group up is during PvP, that's it. Right, maybe doing world bosses too.
Yeah.
That's all. But, like, everything else is just no grouping out. There's no dungeon type system, there's nothing like that, which is depressing. Probably why I'm really bored of the game already. I played for a month and a half, like, straight, and now, like, now I don't want to play the game anywhere.
Yeah.
Or for $10, I put, like, a couple hundred hours into it in the first month, so,
I got Black Desert Online for $1. I put it in. I downloaded it, booted it up, got my settings, got my character creation, and then my computer started screaming at me to turn it off because it couldn't handle it.
Dude, it looks beautiful though.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
BDO runs on potatoes. It should totally run on a computer. We have somebody that runs it on like an old laptop with fucking a dual core and some other stuff. Like, it's a terrible laptop, and he's still running it fine.
I don't see how he's running it fine.
You might just need to turn down some settings. That's what I would say. But it should run. Like I said, we have people that run on potatoes, literally.
But as for an anime that has yet to get any new seasons or anything confirmed that I've known of, it's Hajime no Ippo. Yeah, I want more Hajime no Ippo to be turned into an anime because the manga has gotten so dramatic.
I'm not familiar with that.
It's a boxing anime.
Really? No.
Yes, the owner of the writer of it actually owns a gym himself. He started off boxing, and he often participates as a second to boxers and stuff like that. And it really shows in his manga and his art.
That's interesting.
It's about as popular as fucking. Why can't I think it? You can't go that far in the anime community without at least hearing a mention of Hajime no Ippo.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've heard of it before. I just don't remember the name.
I remember telling you about it during.
Did you?
Yeah, I that's one of the animes I will constantly brag about because I like it so much.
Maybe that's where I heard about it. I don't know. But yeah. Okay. Well, that is depressing. There are definitely some animes that deserve more seasons. Mm-hmm. I mean, like Closure. Personally, I think, the new Tokyo Ghoul Re that we're getting, it's going to have some closure. Because the end of Tokyo Ghoul was semi-like closure, but kind of didn't. It was just like a foreshadow. You don't know if Kaneki died or not, and like you don't know what happened with everybody else really.
For me, Tokyo Ghoul felt kind of weird. It started off awesome and all this. I'm like, oh my god, this is getting so badass, and then it changes into this whole other direction. I'm like, I don't like this anymore.
I feel like it did the same thing, but then by the end of the second season, I think it still went back to being corrected. I think it's just because of the way Kaneki, like, he was the main character. It was like basically how he went and how everything went with him. Because the second season didn't really have him much in it. That's probably why, honestly. I think that's what was the big change that caused problems. But then when he came back, everything was mostly bueno for me. Anyway.
It just kind of felt off to me.
Definitely. So, speaking of Tokyo Ghoul, I guess because this could rank in here. Number 9. What do you feel is the saddest anime that you have seen?
Saddest anime? Oh, jeez.
Bring those feels out. Get
I'm
the
trying to think.
The waterworks shall begin.
I'm trying to think. Ninja Scroll happens to be the saddest story. That one of them, anyway. Is one of the characters' arcs is, she can't love anyone, she can't touch anyone, she can't be with anyone because her body is poisonous.
There's actually an anime ongoing right now that's similar to that. It's called Code Realize. It's interesting. Thought I had seen that premise before. I had watched Ninja Scroll forever ago. It's been too long though. Like that came out forever ago.
Oh, it came out forever ago. I watched it back in 2004 when I was in St. Louis as a part of some show's thing called Anna Midnight.
1993. Yeah, that is.
I was gonna say it's 90s. It used to be on the shelves at Blockbuster. We had rented it before. Anything I remember from Blockbuster, like Heavy Metal 2000, all those, I know they're old as hell.
Oh yeah. It's
Ninja Scroll, what was it? Samurai X, all that stuff.
Fist of the North Star.
I never saw Fist of the North Star there. I should. That one was find out.
Predecessor.
You're already dead.
Nani?
Yep.
So much explosions and guts in that show, and it was amazing.
So you're gonna go with Ninja Scroll? Anything else on that list?
I actually found Sweetness and Lightning to be pretty sad as well. It was a big feel kicker. I mean, it's a lot of upbeatness into it, but when you get down to it, the main character is utterly, depressed because, he's having a hard time cooking for his child, caring for it. He misses his wife so desperately, all the things that she was able to do to cheer his daughter up. He can barely do that. You see in an episode where she's bullied at school for one little thing and he can't handle it, and he tries to handle it and he's failing. So he has to turn to one of his students for that help. And it just... I cried. I cried in that episode.
I always found it weird that it was like a student that was helping him out with everything.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know. Alrighty. On the opposite end of the spectrum, what do you feel was the most happy/upbeat anime you have seen?
Happy, upbeat, Mish Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. So yes, Dragon Maid is the most upbeat that I can see. Sure, there's some sad moments in it, but overall it is upbeat.
It's super cute. Oh yeah, I
feel like that's a really common answer for that question so far.
Maybe. So far, nobody's had comment. No, nobody said. Who else said Mish Kobayashi?
I'm pretty sure this is at least the second time.
The only person that would have said it, I think, is Hippie, or did Shadow say it? I don't remember.
Yeah. One of them did.
Well, I know. It's every 2 weeks. I've slept a lot since then, and also my sleep schedule is like so wrong that like I've even started forgetting things. That Alzheimer's gonna kick in pretty hard eventually.
The old-timers disease.
Pretty much the old-timers, yep. All right. Well, with all that out of the way, what is your least liked genre and why?
My least liked genre happens to be slice of life. It's...
Yes!
I mean, there are some that I can really get behind. I can like Nichijou. They abuse their animation budget to make slice of life so much interesting and comedic. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it's a horrible drag. It just feels like nothing's going on. You just see them resolve an everyday life issue on a subversive of that, and a slice of life that has a decent plot behind it, and underlying all of the random stuff that happens to be the more recently and currently last season, I think, Interview with Monster Girls.
I never watched that. I needed to watch that.
That's a really cute one.
Yes, it's a slice of life with cute girls doing cute things, but it hides behind a very, very what's the word?
Like discriminatory kind of stuff.
It deals with politics on race and stuff like that by disguising it, as demi-humans. And how are they fitting in with society now that they've been, pretty much exposed and they're living with each other? How do they differ from humans? What makes them tick? And it's one teacher's, whole entire mission to help them get through with this.
Yep. It might be an anime that's like a metaphor for Japanese xenophobic nature.
Yeah.
Who knows? That might be going too deep in it. I don't know. I've never seen it. I'd have to watch it and pick up on that probably.
You would enjoy it, especially if you like cute girls.
Of course I like cute girls. Dragon Maid, yes. I mean,
yes.
All the dragons. And cat girls and all the other things. I looked at it I see clips from it and I'm it's cute.
Well, there's a Dullahan and a succubus.
There you go. Yeah, I saw the succubus clip. That's the funniest part.
Yeah. Oh, she is a treasure to behold.
There's a reason why they made her a fucking another teacher instead of a student.
Yeah, there is the two major reasons.
Well, yeah, I mean, but there's a lot of major reasons there. Because if not, one of them would be High Kek's pastime if it was a little girl. Heyo.
Oh.
Anyway, that actually reminds me of something I saw recently, but we'll get to that after the show. So number 12 here. What is your least liked anime and why?
My least liked anime is Sword Art Online, which is probably going to be a common thing.
That's a common answer for anybody that really, really, really enjoys anime. I think we've gotten that 2 times? 3? Was it everybody that said that so far? Because no Shadow said the same thing.
Though I gotta wonder because there's a lot of people out there that really enjoyed the first arc and then hated everything after that.
Yeah, that's people like me.
I hated everything after the first 3 episodes. I thought it was going to be a great premise. The typical, dot hack trapped in a game.
So
See, dot hack,
horrible execution.
Horrible execution and horrible, if you think about it, that game would be horribly difficult to play. Outside of the no healers and only swords and stuff like that. Your menu is clunky as hell. He has to go through, give me 5 minutes to change equipment so he can use 2 swords.
It's funny, fucking I was watching people online. They were like breaking down all the game mechanics, and they were like, dude, this game is fucking terrible. And then I'm looking at it, it's like, you know what? Yeah, that would be fucking terrible. Why?
It would be a game I wouldn't even play.
No, I mean, outside of the VR feel of it and stuff like that, your mechanics are stupid. Timing. I can understand timing for attacks to get the extra power of it. Switching mechanic, going in between allies, that would be perfect. But your menu is clunky. Your whole entire unique skill system is stupid. Because one person.
One big thing about the inventory is if you need a healing potion or something, if you have to go through that long to get to it, it's terrible.
And no wonder why so many people died in the first day.
Yeah. It just as someone who really likes video games and anime, it upsets me greatly because
I didn't even think about it like that. I think I've thought about that in my mind when I watched him do shit. I was like, what the fuck is he doing? Like you say, he goes into the menu, and they go through 5 different menus just to do something, and I'm like, what the fuck is that?
And one horrible mechanic in there is the weapon break mechanic. Oh, I'm Kirito. I know the exact point to hit your weapon to shatter it. Do you know how much that weapon cost me and the time it cost me to fucking farm that shit to get a blacksmith to make this weapon? And you broke it in a duel?
You're a dick!
You're a dick!
That's pretty funny.
It's a horrible anime where every woman wants to just jump on Kirito's dick because Kirito, there's no real reason for it.
Well, some of them helped them out.
He helped them out once.
The blacksmith was not. The little girl with the dragon was a big deal. I could see why she did.
That one's a big deal.
And then Asuna, because that's his waifu. They were together for a lot. So I see her. I see those two. Everybody else, not so much.
I mean, even some of the guys want to jump on his dick. It's
dude. One of the biggest gripes I have about the anime is their relationship, how it was in the game, and then when they transferred to the real world, their relationship took a major step down.
Yeah. Not only that is, I can understand being trapped in a game for, I think, how many years? Was it 2 years? Trapped in the game? 3 years trapped in the game?
In game time, they were trapped in there for, a few years. In real life time, they weren't trapped in there for that long.
I thought they were trapped in there in real life for about a year.
I think it was 1 year, 2 years in real life. No, but in game time, it was much more than that.
Yeah, it was much more than that in game time. And I can understand going into real life, you're going to have some mental repercussions for that kind of thing. You're going to start feeling like your life outside of the game didn't really matter anymore. And you can see this when in a second season or third season, when they're talking in the park, that all they're really caring about is, we had a daughter inside the game. I wonder how she feels. It's like, I mean, come on. It feels really
bang it out
creepy.
And make one in real life.
Yeah, it feels really creepy and unsettling that they went in that direction.
Well, he turned the AI into didn't he fucking?
He kept it, and now it lives on his cell phone and all kinds of other bullcrap. Yeah. And now he's transferred into another game where he's essentially God again. It's like
he's God again, but with a lightsaber.
Yeah,
that was the funniest part about that. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, "A fucking lightsaber? Oh my god, he can block bullets."
It's like, you gotta be fucking me. It's like, oh yeah, I'm Kirito. I know everything about games. I'm expert at video games.
Well, I mean, one thing you have to notice though is that he transferred the stats over from both of
his original character.
Yeah, he transferred.
It was agility based.
Actually, he couldn't transfer stats over from the Alfheim or whatever online to the Gunglaive or whatever they wanted to call it. Gungale.
Not the cosmetics or anything, but he was able to transfer the stats.
But his stats didn't transfer.
I thought it did.
No, he had to give up all of his stats in order to transfer over to that. Because it was a whole entire different system.
He imported his stats. The problem was that his because that's how he was an agility-based character, but as like the pros were saying at the time, agility-based characters were shit.
Yeah.
But whatever. But no, so his stuff was imported. I think it might have been imported from the original Sword Art instead of the new Alfheim stuff, though. But it was imported from somewhere.
Well, the thing is when he came from Sword Art to Alfheim, his stats were imported, and he had items that didn't exist, massive amounts of gold, skills that didn't exist, such like that. But when he went to the Gun Gale, he had to give up a lot of the stuff. He gave up his stats.
He didn't have money or skills, or I think he had...
No, he didn't have stats or anything like that. He didn't have a Yui because he passed that control over to Asuna.
Yeah. Well, no. Okay. So, like, he still had, like I said, he still had his base character stats, like his stamina and his agility and all that. Like, those were all still there because that's again what it said. He doesn't have any money or gear or anything though. Like, none of that went over. He didn't. I don't think he had skills either. I think he just basically ran around and was like, "Here's a sword." You know, she's like, "All right, this is a game about guns." He's like, "I'm gonna use the sword," and I'm like, "Wow."
I'm gonna use a sword and a pistol because
he's like, "All right, I'll at least use a pistol." Like, that's the whole thing. It's like, "I'll use a sword." Well, dude, no. She's like, "Come on, you fucking."
She even explains in that thing that energy weapons are kind of fucking useless, you know, man. You might want to pick something up a little bit more hefty than a pistol, maybe an SMG.
But then he turns into fucking a Jedi and just starts like whacking bullets out of the air and being God, and it's like, okay.
And they describe that as because if you see the character in a shooter, this is why that Gun Gale fails as a game as well, because if you're shooting someone, you should not be able to see the bullet trail that long.
The whole sight line.
The whole sight line, the big red line that leads to where somebody is.
Well, you have to have a game mechanic, like, since it's all first person like that, like you're inside the. You have to have a mechanic that balances out like people sniping you, because if not, you're gonna be like Arma, as I play Arma a lot. You're just gonna die from like a fucking 2 kilometers away and not know why, and it's just AIDS.
Well, I can understand the sight line, but maybe not let it last as long, because it's from what it looked like, it lasted like 3 minutes.
Well, part of the sightline thing was his agility, because his agility was so damn high he could dodge everything. It wasn't the fact that the sightlines existed. And then, like, kind of like basically the whole test of the robot shooting ring thing where he had to reach the end, and then he just started predicting, because that's what it did. It stopped doing sightline. He had to use prediction, which he did. But basically, his agility, because his stats transfer over and he was an agility-based character before, he was so damn fast that it didn't really fucking matter. He could dodge most of the bullets, and then, like, he only had to hit, like, 2 out of the air or something out of... Anytime somebody sprayed at him with, like, a 30-round mag, basically. That's what it amounted to if you watch the anime. He's just like, jukes, whack, jukes, whack, and then stab. At the end, just stab.
So he just reflected the few bullets that he wasn't able to dodge.
Yeah.
No, he didn't reflect them. He just cut them because it was a lightsaber. It just disintegrated bullets.
Yeah, they even showed that in the duel versus Asada, that he couldn't dodge bullets of a certain speed, so he managed to somehow have lightning fast reflexes enough to cut the bullet instead of just duck.
Yeah. Well, to impress a chick, do the helicopter dick. If you do that do it with an energy sword, it effectively turns into an energy shield.
Carne asada. That's the first thing I, that's one of the things that that's the first thing whenever I saw her name, I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna start making beef jokes about her.
She needs some beef in her life. Hey! I didn't. Was that the most recent episodes of? Was that the second half of Gun Gale? Because I don't remember watching it. I stopped after the first arc. The first arcs of each of them I enjoyed. The second arcs I thought were complete shit.
The only thing I know about it is, it's been so long. I think it's been like a year since that Gun Gale was complete. I don't know. It was just.
I keep telling you to go back and watch Mothers of Rosario, because that arc was actually pretty good. It's like 3 episodes or something like that.
Nope, don't care. Not doing it. Anyway, on to the opinions. How do you feel about subs versus dubs, Mr. Other Anime Nerd like us? Other weeaboo?
Another fellow man of culture, as it were. I prefer subs as it is. I prefer subs, but I don't mind dubs as long as the voice acting for the dub is alright.
Mhm.
I mean, especially one dub that I really love that they just went outright and just decided to fuck it up for no reason is Ghost Stories.
Like
You
ever
know,
some Ghost Stories.
they were told you can do whatever you want, just keep the character names the same.
Oh,
And
that's something I haven't watched.
essentially it's like one of the scenes is run like a black man is chasing you. One girl turns out to be a very religious person.
Mm-hmm.
They just made her religious for no reason. She's like, "Oh, by the grace of God, I'm gonna fuck you up."
That's pretty funny.
And all these kids are supposed to be like elementary school age, and it's just fucking hilarious.
I mean, when I was in elementary, I was a pretty fucked up kid, but that's irrelevant.
Yeah, and one of the scenes is they're going into a police officer station, and one of the kids is talking really fast, and he goes, "Yeah, get." They didn't even.
The kid pulled a boomhauer.
Yeah, he just pulled a boomhauer. He didn't really even, try and match the lip flaps. It was like, yeah, I'm just going to go do this. It's
No, he just fucking snorted the cocaine, line of cocaine.
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Like Crucifix said, he likes the dubs if the voice acting is better than the Japanese. Sometimes, like, dub makes more sense than subs. Like, it just depends. I can watch both. There's a lot of times with sub, like with anime, where, like, for instance, I used to, originally just to be dubs only. And then, like, I got, how I got introduced into subs and how I started liking them is, like, I got tired of waiting for stuff to be dubbed. So I just started hopping into subs. That transition kind of sucks sometimes, but, like, it's okay.
Especially when it comes down to a big expositional scene. And you just don't really want to watch two people talking, but you have to read.
No, I don't care about the reading.
One thing I like about dubs is that I can, if I'm into the anime, but it's, let's say, an episode I don't want, but it's going to have a lot of backstory exposition that I don't need, I can go to another tab and do something else.
Yeah, you can play it in the background. Whereas with subs, you can't do that because you have to read everything. See, I don't really care, like, too much about that. I mean, I agree with you, like, that, and I can also get up and, like, walk and get something to drink or, like, take a piss and listen to it. Whereas I can't do that. I have to pause it so I can read everything.
Yeah, I used to have a big wireless headset, and I would go to the bathroom while listening to the dub or something like that. If only when the anime I had to watch in the dub was out.
Nice. All right, that's pretty good. Pretty good answers there. What are your thoughts on fan service?
Fan service is alright. It's one of the things that's gonna.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
It's alright. No. Hold on.
Fan service is fantastic. Sorry.
There you go. No. I was gonna say, let me correct it. Fan service is best service. No.
Yes.
There you go. No, I'm kidding. You're good.
As long as it is done within a certain set of moderation, there's gonna be your ecchi for your fan service and stuff like that. There's gonna be anime like that. Shokugeki no Soma is no exception, and it has. But I give that a certain justification in that.
That's food porn, the anime.
Yes, food porn, the anime.
As Haikek has said before on the show. And then you have the obligatory, like, bath/beach episode in every anime. That's the thing.
That's gonna be, especially if you're going on a shonen anime, you're gonna have the beach scene. You're gonna have the perverted hot spring scene. It's bound to happen. It's like an
anime do. It's like, if you don't do this, there's something wrong with this anime.
Yeah, it's like the anime do. It's not good, it's not bad. There's some shows that do it too much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't dislike them because of it, but, just sometimes I don't want to see the titties flopping in my face.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather get to the action and not have the titties just bouncing.
Yeah.
I hate
or you could have action with titties bouncing.
I mean,
well,
I want the best of both.
Sekirei, there's some other ones. Sekirei, Witchblade, Queen's Blade. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. What you're saying,
Oh, One Piece is always on that fan service about.
Like animes that completely rely on it as a selling point, and that's it.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't like. Like, what is it? Danmachi, is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon?
I really liked that anime.
I liked it, but there's one thing I like to call it is Sword Art Online Big Fat Fucking Titties Edition.
At least
No, it was much better than Sword Art. Yeah,
It's much better than
like
Sword Art Online, but it had nearly the same premise. It's a video game-like stats in a video game-like world, just with even bigger titties that bounce.
Yeah. Well,
and don't tell me
to be fair, the main character's waifu didn't have big tits. Everyone else did. I mean, personally, if I was him and I had Hestia in my life, oh yes, Hestia.
Hestia might be Bestia, but I'm tired of watching her Chestia jiggle.
All right, this boy's got the rhymes. Watch out, we got the next Slim Shady over here. The Weeb Shady. I don't know. Shady Weeb. There you go. Yeah.
I'm beginning to feel like a weeb god.
Oh my god. Oh, Lord have mercy. Alright. Well, it's at this point that we open up questions for you. I mean, you kind of know me pretty well. You don't know Haikyuu too much, but I don't know how much we've talked about anime. I'm sure we do it every now and again. But yeah, so go ahead and ask us questions, your burning desires, anything you have for us.
My burning desires, my burning questions. As for one, I didn't come prepared with any questions, so I have no idea what I'm going to ask, but
you don't have to ask anything if you don't want to.
Yeah, I'm going to subvert or return some of the question is, during this season, we have, from what I can tell, seen a lot of romance and slice of life outside of Boruto's dad, the anime, and Black Clover. We've seen a lot. Yeah, Black Yelling. We've seen a lot of romance, such as Recovery MMO, more slice of life, like or whatever it
was. There's Just Because it's a slice of life and romance.
There's. How do you feel about the current season and state of anime on that?
I'll let Haikyuu go first.
Well, I mean, the current, like, the animes that are coming out right now for slice of life are actually really good compared to, like, the previous seasons, I'd say. It's going, I'd say it's going pretty well. They're learning what makes a good anime in that genre.
How to make slice of life actually work in this, era of shonen.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, slice of anime. Well, I think slice of life has always worked. See, there's a thing, like, I swear anime has off seasons. Like, every other season is an off season or something like that. Where, like, for instance, I don't know, a couple years ago, like, the fall season was just completely trash. There's, like, literally only 2 animes that I could watch, that I could stomach. Everything else was pretty trash. And then the season right after that was just amazing. It's stuff like that. It just depends on release dates and what's getting released and stuff like that. Like, as me and Highkick run this show, I don't know if I exported the show from back when we had talked about it, but when we first went over the list, like, after the season before last, we were going over the list of things, like, I was clicking through stuff on my anime list that was about to come out, and, like, we looked at a lot of stuff, we're like, dude, a lot of these actually sound really interesting, and they all turned out to be pretty interesting and pretty good. I mean, I'm watching a ton of shonen fighting animes, all sorts of things, because I'm more of an action person. But then, like I said, I hate slice of life for the most part, and I hate romance because I'm a dead human being on the inside, and I don't know what romance is. But, like, I really liked, Recovering MMO Junkie, because it's cute and it's great, and then I like Just Because it's also cute and realistic and it's great. And then I also like, what was the other one? Ancient Magus Bride, because it's cute and it's great, and it's just like, Ancient Magus Bride is honestly, I have to say, my 10 out of 10 for this year, though, because it's just all encompassing and great. There's good fights, it like gives you the feels, it's very moving. It's like watching a Studio Ghibli film, where it's moving. Like, Studio Ghibli is great because not only is the story good, the animation's Studio Ghibli, it's not great for the time anymore, but it's pretty, it's been good. It's just, but they're moving, like, they capture you and they push you in a direction and they move your soul, kind of feel. Like, at least that's how Studio Ghibli films have always been for me, is they've always been, moved me in ways that, like, other things don't and movies don't and stuff like that.
With how you mentioned, like, off seasons, I have to say last season for, like, the Slice of Life channel was fucking terrible with Gamers and Koitos, which I looked at it, I was like, oh man, these might be great. Then I got like 4 episodes into Koitos before I was just like, this is fucking boring. And the Gamers was just fucking cringy as all hell.
I thought you liked Gamers. Cringe Lord.
I kind of did, but
I did, and then I realized that was
Card
crazy.
Wrangler. Watch it there.
I skipped
What?
a lot of it. Like I was just kind of skipping along to like avoid all the really fucking cringy parts because like they're unneeded. Like it was just annoying at points.
Hmm. Well,
I mean,
all right. So, you have any other questions for us?
how do you feel about more and more animes currently being translated to video games? Like I guess you can consider Ruby being translated into a video game. The Sword Art Online video games, as it were. I don't really want to talk about those. Those are trash.
I don't really want to talk about this.
Yeah.
I thought the SAO games were actually pretty decent.
I've tried one and it was horrible.
Yep. And then there's the new, was it Black Clover is getting a game, My Hero Academia is getting a game soon.
Yeah. How do you feel about, animes that are relatively successful going the vein of the Naruto getting fighting games left and right?
I mean, the Naruto fighting games like now are fucking awesome. So I mean,
they were pretty good back then too. Like I liked a lot of the Ultimate Ninja Storm ones forever back in the day ago.
Yeah, those are good. But like, have you played like the most recent ones?
No, I don't. I don't play like a lot of the new fighting games.
Really
I can only handle
good.
so much fighting games. There's only so much button mashing my fingers can take.
That and like I heard that I haven't played the Dragon Ball Z ones, but I heard
The new Dragon Ball Z one's really good. All of my friends that have played those forever say this one's super good.
Yeah, but I mean if they
the games are just getting better and better. Yeah. I will have to say, because Kenneth recently bought me off my Steam wishlist for my birthday, he bought me Attack on Titan Wings of Freedom, and like it's different, but like I enjoyed the hell out of it. I played it only for like only maybe an hour max recently because I was waiting for people or whatever, and then it was online. But like I enjoyed it. I liked the combat mechanic. It was really weird and hard to get at first. Like I wasn't understanding it, but as soon as I picked it up and started understanding it, it's good. It's made by W Force Omega, who makes games I really like Dynasty Warriors. They make good hack and slashes, which is practically what the game boils down to. But it's got it's got other mechanics involved that the other games never have had before. And then like Fate, like the Fate Extella I bought for my PS4. That's a hack and slash game. That one's exactly like Dynasty Warriors, but it's different. Also, it has Fate waifus, and it actually had some good story, and I enjoyed the hell out of that too.
Dude, all the Fate games have great stories. Anything Fate related is a really good story.
I like all Fate things. I think Fate needs to be like elevated almost to my second, favorite or one of my favorite animes. It might overtake Gits. I don't know.
Guts.
Gits.
Ghost in the Shell, yeah.
Yeah, the poster above me. Yeah. There's also one of those posters, right? Well, not this poster, but the Gits anime posters behind me. My wall scroll.
How did you feel about the Ghost in the Shell live action?
It actually wasn't bad. Like I liked it. It fit really well with the original anime. Which, by the way, you weren't here, but if you look up in my main channel, I just picked up the Steelbook edition of the remaster of the original Ghost in the Shell. It's beautiful.
I have a personal issue with the Ghost in the Shell live action is that it told a different story as it was. They
dumbed it down a bit.
They dumbed it down and they changed a lot of the whole entire themes and tones in the movie. And they also got the art direction really, really wrong. They wanted to try and mimic that first opening scene, running around Hong Kong chasing bad guy who's camouflaging, shooting pistols everywhere. But they got the coloring wrong. The scene where the Major wakes up in her apartment overlooking a bleak city. It's all dumbed out in white and with a black everything. In the original anime, she's in her window. It's framed in a way that you see the big, vast city and its colors.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're looking at it in the movie, it's all gray in a sense. There's no life in it.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I personally didn't feel too bad. I didn't feel that it conveyed too much of a different story. I mean, it even got the seal of approval from the original, Gits director. So, like, it was pretty good. From what I remember the movie, it followed closely to what the original anime movie did. Like, it was good. Why did you drop your grilled cheese crucifix? That's hilarious. There you go. Still need to do 5-second rule, man.
Yeah,
Just make sure there's no hair in the cheese, and you're good.
I think the original director said something on the lines of stuff that people in Japan and people might not like in the Western audience. That's why he approves of most of the changes that were made.
Yeah, because
I can understand the changes due to localization and Westernization and stuff like that, but it just I also don't feel like Scarlett Johansson made a good Major.
As a huge fan of Ghost in the Shell and as a adamant lover of the Major, I really need a Major waifu pillow. I don't know if they exist. I'm sure they exist, but like I want a good one.
You can get a Major waifu robot.
Maybe. But anyway, I don't know. It was good for me, and like I'm a huge fan of it. Like I saw what they did, and it wasn't bad. And along the lines of fucking live action movies that are based off anime movies or animes in general, it's one of the fucking best. A lot of most of the live actions that are ever done about anime are complete trash. That one wasn't complete trash. Yeah, exactly. It was pretty good. Yeah. My sister disliked it a little bit, but she agreed basically with me that it was pretty similar. It stuck to what the original movie did for the most part, and it told the same story, and it's good. I don't know. And one of the reasons why I probably like Ghost in the Shell a lot is because I love computers and technology. I think I realized, so that's a big deal. Yeah, that's why I like it.
That's why your love for mechs.
Well,
all right. How about a controversial one here? How did you feel about the Rurouni Kenshin artist / mangaka being exposed as a pedophile?
What?
Most recent news.
What?
Yes.
Hold on, what? I didn't know about that.
Rurouni Kenshin's creator, was found out with several gigs of child pornography on his computers.
I mean, that doesn't make me think any less of his work.
Yeah, it doesn't make me think any.
But him as a person, that's a whole nother story.
And
as I just figured this out,
the hilarious news on it. The hilarious news on it in the excerpt they gave, he said, "I like girls of younger age. That's all I can say." And he just outright denied. He's like, "Yeah, I like little girls."
My God. Anyway, no. The running joke is that High-Kick likes lollies. Like, you'll see his tag when he has Google Chrome open is with lollies or whatever. Anyway. But, no, I like Rurouni Kenshin. That's actually one of my favorite characters. I have a fucking Rurouni Kenshin reverse blade sword as a part of my sword collection. Correction, jeez. I was gonna cosplay Rurouni Kenshin too, at some point. It's just I like the character, so I'm not gonna hate on it just because the dude turned out to be a pedophile.
Yeah.
And who knows? That was also years ago. When did he become a pedophile? Was that more recent, or was that forever ago?
You never know.
That's one of those things. Like, when did he realize he likes little girls or whatever? Legitimately. And also, how little is little girls? Because, the legal age over there is 14 or 11. It's something really young. Legal age over there is super young.
It's probably 14.
So, It just depends on how little is little,
Right.
But yeah. I mean, like I said,
I think he said something along the lines of their formative years.
Cosplay a pedophile instead, same result. Oh, okay, crucifix. It's terrible. But anyway, is that all you got for us?
I think that's about all the questions I have for y'all. If y'all have any other things for me, I'm more willing to answer.
Yes. So, I think I know the answer to this one because we talked about this before. So with all this anime talk, are you interested in visiting Japan, the great weeb mecca, the homeland, the birthplace, the motherland?
The motherland. I have always been interested in visiting Japan, starting with my liking of video games to anime to MMOs and everything. Most of it's deeply seated in the Japanese, area. Culture and area, and it's really a place that I wanted to visit. The only issue I have is the money and the extensive amount of time and effort it would take to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I would say me and Kenneth have found out their Groupon. There's deals where for $1,200 you can go for like a week, or like 9 days almost 2 weeks.
That's not too bad, but you also got to consider hotels.
No,
food.
that includes all of that. That $1,200 includes airfare, hotel, travel. They even buy tickets to places. It's a great deal. Me and him looked into it. It's through Japanese travel agencies, but they just do the deal on Groupon. So that's what me and him looked into, and we're like, that's an amazing deal. I wish I had money. I would have gone this year.
If I had money, I would have done it. I would have, say, let me get my passport. Let me take the couple months to get my passport. I will go.
Yeah, that's the only thing else I need.
Let's do this. Let's drop it.
Pretty much. And that's, that's about as much as I figured it would have cost for me to go to a TwitchCon.
And,
And the TwitchCon.
I went to TwitchCon.
He went to TwitchCon. I was going to go to TwitchCon if I had gotten a job.
It only cost me like $500, so...
Really? It only cost you $500? That's not bad.
Yeah, the TwitchCon house was...
I thought it was going to be more than that. Well, what cost you $500? The tickets for TwitchCon and the tickets for flight and everything?
My ticket for TwitchCon was $98.
How was it $98?
Because I only went for 1 day.
Oh, okay. I was looking at like $150 it was for 3 day?
The 3 day was $175 or something like that.
Oh. 200. There you go.
Stood at the TwitchCon house, which was everybody had to pitch in $400, I think, or so.
I was planning for that to be more. Okay.
And I got a sizable savings of about $400 as well, and I only spent like $300 of it on miscellaneous crap, such as food and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was pretty decent. I was expecting, it was.
What was your flight? How much did your flight cost?
My flight only cost me $115.
Oh wow, my flight when I looked was gonna cost me $250 because I was super late on booking it, and then the TwitchCon tickets were $200, so that's $450 right there, plus what you said the $400 for the house,
and
which
then
would
you
have
get
been
food.
Yeah. So basically, it would have been over $1,000, which I couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't swing. That's the problem. That's why I didn't end up going. I really wanted to because I wanted to go meet all the other Cord Bros. Like I've already met you and then Donzo and Mom and Miyuki and Rin, which they weren't there for that, but I could have met the other people from across the U.S. Could have met Hippie IRL.
Oh, Hippie's an amazing person IRL.
Oh no, she seems pretty cool. Like I don't know her too well, but she was the first guest on the guest show. Oh, he didn't want. How was I gonna meet you, dude? This is in California. What are you talking about? You didn't go to TwitchCon. What's up, Crucifix? We'll have our own speakeasy gaming meetup eventually, whenever one of us gets a decent job that we can pay for everybody else. Probably me and Kenneth, honestly. And then eventually we will do something.
So long as you don't pull a Mom and Donzo.
Yeah. As long as I don't pull a Mom and Donzo.
Hey, we're gonna go to eat at this place called Great Scott, and as we look on the menu, our hearts drop.
Dude, oh my god, the prices of the place were insane. I feel so bad, but dude, that steak was so good. We all got steaks except for Donzo?
Donzo and Kenneth. Kenneth got pizza.
Kenneth. Yep.
Donzo got pasta.
Yep. Ugh, jeez.
And those steaks were amazing.
Yep. Oh, the only other bad part is I could have hosted a meetup at my house here. I would have went to pick up everybody from the Houston airport, but I lose my house soon. Because I have a 4-bedroom house that's pretty much all to myself, except for one other dude. Yeah. No. Well, anyway, that concludes most of the talk show. That's all of my questions, all the questions we have for you. I would like to thank you for coming on and sitting through our show and hanging out with us. As he said earlier, he is a Twitch streamer. You can find him on twitch.tv/
the Serpent's Tail. It's underscores. Post a link in the chat. I don't know.
Go for it.
What times do you stream?
I stream typically on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday at 7 p.m. CST.
There you go. The best time. There you go.
The best time. I play mainly RPGs, JRPGs, and retro RPGs. Woo!
Yep. And as I said in the chat right there is his link.
The weebiest weeb games you could possibly weeb.
Yep. I mean, I assume you have a Twitter as well you would like to shout out. Do you use Twitter too much or no?
I use Twitter. I mean, I'm on it. I don't do much with it.
And the same way, I don't do much with it. I just like all the waifus and all the anime things and like reply to random people.
That's pretty much what I do.
Yep. Alright. Well then, there you go. So, catch his Twitch at twitch.tv/the_serpents_tail, like his name is put in his icon. And we'd like to thank you all for coming and hanging out. Crucifix, thank you for coming and hanging out. And then both of you, like I said, thank you for joining us at the talk show. I hope you had a good time talking about anime and weeb stuff. Hope everyone out there that was watching liked learning more about other weebs besides the two that run the show. I mean, that's one of the biggest points here is we're trying to introduce people to more people and just basically network. If anyone out there is interested in being, one of the next guests, let me know. Hit me up. I have a list of people. I have people that are yeses, but not emphatic yeses sometimes. And so, it's just whoever gets to me first with the most proper yes.
Hey, you know what? I'm always willing to be on a weeb show and talk about weeb things. It's, kind of what I do anyway when I stream.
So, see, there you go. Check him out. Have fun hanging out with him.
We're also looking for sponsors if anyone ever wants to hit us up about that, too.
One day.
Brought to you by Crunchyroll. Totally not sponsored. Yes, I am.
Same thing with the loot crates. I would totally like to have had a loot crate sponsorship. They have a pretty insane list. I tried to apply for it before, but they want a lot of things, and I was like, whoa.
Like, what do they want?
I don't know, like a ridiculous amount of views or followers.
Oh, that kind of stuff.
Absurd. Yeah. It's not like my friends at Green Man Gaming that love me and sponsor me anyway, even though I am trash. Basically.
Right.
Why don't we plug them in ever?
Get your games cheap at Green Man Gaming.
They're eternally plugged down at the bottom of my Twitch card things. Anyway.
Yeah, but don't you actually get money for every time somebody actually goes to the link?
No, you don't get money every time somebody goes to it. You only get money when somebody buys stuff. Yeah, and then they use your link to pay for it.
They give you a percentage on the game that they bought. So if they buy it on a sale for $1, you only get 2 cents.
Yep, they give you a percentage. But it's in British pounds, which actually, that's what you get paid in, which translates to more money.
Yep. Nice. And if you have it on your PayPal, you can actually transfer the currency to US dollars.
Yep, and which is what I do. It's pretty cool. But anyway, that's enough about business things. We're going to let everybody go. Have a good night.